My goodness. What up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you. Now, guys, I want to do this video real quick because I want to address something that I've been talking about for a while. And this story came up, which is a really good example of what I've been talking about, all right? So I want to dive into that. But first, I want to say that on my last video, you heard me ranting and raving, and one of the things that I was talking about was George Floyd and how I really don't appreciate how we just keep going on and on and on with the George Floyd jokes. Every time the name George Floyd comes up, somebody's got something slick to say, like they got something to prove because they feel that he was probably a victim of his own criminal lifestyle, a victim of his own dependency on fentanyl, all of that stuff. Okay, we get it. All right. There's a lot of people who feel like it didn't go down the right way. Okay, I understand that, but it's inescapable. The fact is the man is dead. Okay, so he's gone on to whatever judgment awaits all of us on the other side. So to continue to joke about that is dumb, in my opinion, and it's also dangerous, which brings me to the topic of this video. Now, I saw this story on the NewYorkPost.com, and I want to share it to you guys because I want to show you how we fail our children when we continue to dive into the shallow end of life's pool. All right, so let's just get into this. And I want to read the headline real quick for you guys, if this thing will move for me. All right, and it says here, white teen pleads guilty to trying to drown black boy as pal mocked the victim, calling him George Floyd because he couldn't breathe. Yeah, okay, a white teenager, I guess he tried to drown a black boy. And you know how the media is. They have to put the race in there, because it's a white teen. If it had been the other way around, I don't know if they would do that. You know the kind of games that they play. We all know that. Look, my comment section is not for stating the obvious, okay? So before you go running in there with your condemnation of George Floyd, before you go running in there talking about, oh, it would be different if it was a black, no. Let's just get into the actual topic, guys. I am challenging you to stick to the topic and not to deflect. If you want to make those statements, go to that other channel over there where they'd be glad to have you, okay? There's a lot more people over there, by the way. They would appreciate you. Here, we stick to the topic, okay? So let's get into the article, and it goes on to say, a 15-year-old white boy has pleaded guilty to trying to drown a black teen in a Cape Cod pond while spewing racial slurs as a pal laughed and called the victim George Floyd because he couldn't breathe. Heinous tormentor John Sheeran, who was 14 years old during the 2023 attack, threw rocks at his 15-year-old victim, forced him to enter the pond, then shoved the boy's head under the water while calling him the N-word, prosecutors say. Sheeran pleaded guilty to charges of attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon at Barnstable Juvenile Court, where a judge may choose to sentence him as an adult. The Cape Cod Times reported it wasn't immediately clear what sentence Sheeran could face either way. Sheeran's alleged kid accomplice was slapped with a harassment charge for laughing and jeering at the victim while he begged for his life, the Times said. The teen, who is also white, will be charged as a juvenile. The sick attack began when the victim and Sheeran encountered each other at a pond in Chatham. What is this? Oh my God, I'm so dumb. It says M.A. That's not Minnesota, right? That's not. Is it Minnesota? I don't know if it's in Minnesota. Is it Massachusetts, maybe? No. Yeah, Massachusetts. Oh, man. I have to leave this into the video because I'm like 4 minutes in. Normally, I would turn it off at this point, but it's a rule of mine. Once I get so deep in, I got to keep going, baby. I got to keep on stroking, okay? So you guys see how ignorant I am. So now you have ammunition to come at me with when you disagree with me. All right, so this happened July of last year. Sheeran threw rocks at his victim and forced the boy, who wore a life jacket because he couldn't swim, to get into the water, according to the Boston Globe. Sheeran then ran out to him and repeatedly dunked his head under the surface, calling him the N-word, while the attacker's buddy started laughing and calling me George Floyd, obviously making fun of me and showing no remorse, the accuser wrote in a police report, also viewed by NBC 10. A witness who is a minor told police he heard the victim ask Sheeran to please not splash or push him because of his inability to swim. The onlooker also said he saw Sheeran and his alleged accomplice pushing the victim's head underwater while the victim was screaming for help. When I finally got to them, they were smirking, the witness wrote of the two attackers. Now, that's the end of the story, guys. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention is not to say white people bad, not to say black people victims, not to say that black people never do anything wrong, not to say that black on black crime doesn't exist. Save that for the other place, okay? We're not talking about the obvious stuff here. What we're talking about is the atmosphere that we create and how now 3 lives at least have been ruined, not even counting their families, but 3 lives have been ruined by what occurred here. We're talking about the 2 white kids. Their lives have been ruined because of what they did. Now they have to go through the criminal court system. One of them might be tried as an adult. And of course, the black kid who will be traumatized. All right. So that's 3 kids whose lives have been messed up. And I think that it might be helpful for us to think about the atmosphere that we're creating and that we're putting out there for these kids. After all, guys, when Trump got shot at, a lot of us rightfully pointed out that the media, the left wing, they created this atmosphere where it became unsafe for that man. People online were calling for his assassination. It was dangerous. And we criticized those people for not taking accountability for their words and for their actions. Now, I'm saying this is the same situation. Okay, for all of us who think that it's somehow funny to continue to clown this dead man long after he's dead, to clown the fact that he said that I can't breathe. I mean, there are kids who pick up on these things, man, regardless of race. Okay, because it's bad enough that there are white kids who might be moved to do something like this. But it's also bad that there are black kids who also believe that they don't deserve any better treatment than this as well. Yeah, it actually exists. This is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why they're so down on themselves. This is the reason why rates of self-harm are going like up, as far as these kids are concerned, right? We have to do better when it comes to setting an example, all right? And this is a perfect example of that, guys. It's like, what are we going to, like, what do we want to see? Do we want to see more despair? Do we want to see more kids getting hurt and everything? I mean, I can't think of any better example than what we have going on here. So I don't know how this case is going to turn out. I guess there'll be updates and everything. But I really want people to start thinking about this, guys, because when you look at what's going on online, like what I've been talking about, our opinions of each other back and forth. We play this game where they're more wrong than them. We're more right than them. Everybody wants to be in the right when it comes to who you condemn and everything. There is no shortage of hypocrisy on both sides. We have this preoccupation with playing gotcha. You're not so good. You're not all the victim that you say you are. You're not so virtuous either. Look at what you do. And so we try to highlight each other at our worst instead of realizing that we are all human beings and that we all have some type of investment in the good morale and atmosphere of our country. This is the reason why things are as testy as they are now when it comes to immigrants, when it comes to India, when it comes to what Varaswamy was saying or whatever his name is, Elon Musk, all of this stuff. It's like Americans have to realize that we're all in this together. We are tearing each other apart. And little stories like this should serve as a reminder that we have to do better. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I see it. When I read a story like this, I know a lot of people, I read the comment section, a lot of people, they're going back and forth. Like I said before, yeah, but black people are this and black people are that and black people are, and look at white people. Yeah, that's the way white people are. They're just evil and everything. Man, get the fuck over it, man. We are all different, but we're all the same and that we are Americans and we want to be left alone to live our lives in peace and prosperity. So why don't we get to the business of doing that already and stop with this wringing each other's necks all the time, But anyway, there it is for your consumption. Now you can get in the comment section. And once again, I challenge you. I do not want to see a bunch of George Floyd is a piece of shit postings and comments and all of that stuff. I don't want to see all that. That's not what this is about. Please keep it relevant. As always, guys, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And if you want to contribute to the channel, of course, you can hit that super thanks feature, which is on each and every one of my videos. Thank you guys for listening. I will catch you on the next one. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.